Yo, what is good? Hope you're all doing well. So in today's video I wanted to discuss the optimization process, because I think some people don't realize how long it can take or just understand what it entails. So with that out of the way, firstly, how long did it take for the iPhone XR? At the start of the video you see two pictures and it says Finalised Optimisation. Now if you've just installed the game, it might say that when you first come onto your screen, and it will say finalizing the install. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is once you've started streaming data for the game, you have to play for a period of time to hit the finalized optimization point. Before you see that screen, you might get a yellow bar going across your screen, which is the first picture, saying optimizing the shaders during gameplay basically. So that is normal. You might get that yellow bar going across the top of your screen. It's very quick, takes about 10 seconds. You might see that 2 or 3 times. When you finally get to this screen, you will not be able to press anything on your screen, and you'll know that it's the finalized optimization because it's a much longer process. It takes about a minute or two for the phone to fully compile and sort out. So with that out of the way, if you have not seen that screen on the start of the video, you can be sure that your phone isn't fully optimized. Does it mean it's not going to run very well? Nah, you can still get decent performance. On the iPhone 12 I was still getting 60 FPS in all game modes. I wasn't getting severe FPS drops, and everything felt pretty consistent. Now what I will say is, one way you can check how much app data you've already downloaded, like streamed, is by going into your iPhone settings. If you go on to general and then iPhone storage and you click on the Warzone app, it will tell you how much the app size is. So I didn't get the optimization screen until about 9 gigabytes had been streamed in total, the app size. So you can keep that as a reference sort of marker. If you haven't had that screen, look how much data your app is using, and in total it should be around 9 gigabytes. Now if you don't play for a few days, it is normal for it to get rid of some of that data. It might be stuff that's not relevant or useful for the phone anymore, and then you'll play again and it'll stream a little bit more. So currently I've not played on the 12, I just looked and it's at 8.82, where the other day it was at 9.2 gigabytes. So it's lost a bit of data, but if I then go into some games, it might then go back to 9 gigabyte. So it's totally normal if your app is going down in size a little bit and then back up. So with that out of the way, the gameplay that you're watching is on the iPhone 12. Now like I said previously, the iPhone 12 is holding 60 FPS throughout all game modes. Felt good. Suddenly I decided to play quads BR on Verdansk. As soon as I loaded into the match, I could feel this weirdness and my sensitivity felt off. The game felt slow and the device was hotter than it had been, and I was like, this is strange, like I've been playing all day, like why is it feeling funny all of a sudden? Now at the time of playing I was like, oh, I'll just play through it, it must just be a bad server. I come off the games and I check the frame rate. I'd lost 10 to 13 FPS over these 2 games, and I was like, that's fucking weird, like why? I've been holding 60 FPS and I'd been playing Plunder on this map pretty much most of the day, and I was like, why all of a sudden am I dropping that much performance? So I came off the game, I went to the shop and I got some food and I came back. That's when that screen come up, the finalized optimization, and I was like, oh okay, that makes sense. It was obviously streaming a lot and doing some background processes, and that's why the game felt weird in these 2 matches. Don't get me wrong, it was still playable, but it was messing with my aim and it just felt weird, it just felt off. So once I hit that screen I was like, oh, surely I'm going to go back to being a stable, good experience again, right? No. And I was shocked at this point. I was like, nah, you're trolling me. I've not just spent 10-12 hours playing and now my phone feels worse after the finalized optimization. So if it does feel worse, don't panic. It took about 10 games, and I was monitoring the FPS in them 10 games. It took about 10 games to restabilize, and the frame rate was slowly creeping back up to 60. Once it had done that, it feels amazing on the 12 now. Everything looks brilliant, and yeah, I've got no complaints. So that's what I wanted to explain about the whole process for the iPhone 12. What I've noticed with the iPhone XR, so this is why I was going to upload this video on Saturday, and then I cancelled the upload and was like, do you know what, I want to focus on getting the XR fully optimized so we can rerun some tests, because someone's requested that I rerun the tests now we've had the updates and whatnot, and I was like, well, it's not really a fair test if the phone's still unoptimized. We can't really fully test like the frame rates in the game modes. It's going to be the same, if not worse. So that's why I haven't uploaded any new videos, because all I've been doing is playing on the iPhone XR, trying to get to that finalized optimization point. Now what is worrying is on the iPhone XR, I've played about 20, maybe even 25 hours over the last 3-4 days trying to get the XR to that point, and it still hasn't hit that finalized optimization point. If I look at the app size, it's 8.6 gigabytes, and it's streaming so slowly. I've been monitoring every 2 to 3 matches of multiplayer, I might go up 0.1 megabytes, so 100 megabytes, sorry, not 0.1 megabyte, 0.1 gigabyte, which is 100 megabytes. So it's very slow. I can guarantee you my connection is not that slow. I can download 10 gigabytes in about 25 minutes, maybe quicker sometimes. So it's not my connection that's making that process slow. It could be the phone, the read-write speeds, and just the way that it needs longer for an older device to optimize properly. I'm not too sure, or it could be totally bugged. And here's the kicker, because in previous updates all 3 of my iPhone devices never hit that finalized optimization. It was before season 4 launched. We had about a 3-week period where we didn't have an update, and the update that was at the start of that 3 weeks was the one that was very problematic for me, and I've made videos on that. None of the devices, no matter how much I played on them, they never hit the optimization screen, and they felt crap the whole way through that 3 weeks. Season 4 fixed that for the iPhone 12. I'm unsure if it's still broken on the iPhone XR and I'm just never going to hit that screen, or it's just taking that long. On newer devices, I reckon it would do it much faster. They have more CPU power, so they're going to be able to compile shaders and textures much easier, and just generally they're going to have an easier process. They'll need less optimization. So that was the reason that I delayed the video, because I wanted to give a more conclusive insight into how long it would take on a low-end device. So iPhone 12, we'll call it mid-end, and it takes 10 to 12 hours of constant gameplay. Not all in one go, you can spread that out, but that's how long you can expect it to take. It might be quicker for you, it might be slower. Another point I'd like to make is, do not delete the app and try and reinstall it to fix crashing or some bit bugs or graphical glitches you've got. The likelihood of that fixing it is next to zero, because that will be a coded problem or a bug inside the game that is not going to go away unless a dev fixes it. I will hold my hands up, and I have deleted the app and reinstalled before, hoping that it would sort things out, and no, it does not. The only thing that happens is you go back to zero stream data, so you're going back to the start, and that's why it takes so long. So yeah, if you've got issues and you think, oh, I'm going to delete and reinstall, just don't. Just wait for another update, because the only thing you're going to do is go backwards and make the performance probably worse. So you've just got to be patient. You've got to get through the crappy games. It will feel inconsistent. You might be dropping frames, but you just need to play through it. And like I say, outside of all that, there is silver lining. I can't say the same for the iPhone XR at the moment, but the 12, once it had finished that process and I played the extra 10 games, everything went smooth, everything's brilliant. On the XR, what I've noticed, frame rate wise, it is getting worse, and it's getting worse, and the heat is getting more. The app size has gone up, but we've still not hit the screen. I've just played 2 games and I thought, you know what, I want to check what the frame rate is now. Obviously I've posted XR gameplay where I was holding 55 frames on shipment in low graphics. I just played shipment in low graphics again, and I was barely hitting the 40, I think it was 45 FPS, but it felt horrible. And I just played in high graphics on shipment and I could barely hit 40 FPS, and again it felt horrible. So that could be part of the process, the instability, because it did happen on the iPhone 12. Like I say, the performance dropped before I hit that screen, so I might be very close, or it could just be that things are actually just getting worse for low end devices. And I'm not going to get into that because I'll do another more in-depth video on that. But I think we can conclude this video here that if you haven't seen the finalized optimization screen, you've just got to keep playing. It will feel crappy, it will annoy you. If you're crashing, that's a separate issue, and reinstalling is not going to fix it. So don't delete the app and try and reinstall, because like I say, you're just putting yourself at a worse point, and there is no advantage to trying to do that. I hope this has been somewhat helpful, and like I say, I want to get back to just uploading normal content and actually have some fun with the game. But like I say, I just felt it important because low-end devices is the majority of the player base, and I would like to be able to cover that in depth, the whole process, the experience, because it helps people that maybe haven't even got a phone, or they've got a phone that isn't supported and they're looking to get a low-end device to play the game. So I find that really helpful to give those people the information that's going to help them decide whether they should get a low-end device or whether they should just wait and save up a bit of extra money and get a slightly better device. So all in all, sorry for the long video, but there was a lot to sort of cover. Anyway, peace out, much love, catch you in the next video.